Good morning and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a little bit different for me because it's really just get ready with me. I wanted to share my current makeup go-tos that I've been doing lately. I don't like a lot of makeup. To me, it just makes my skin feel icky and heavy. So just a few things that I absolutely love and can't live without. So I thought that I would share them with you and to do a full look. I am actually shooting this video on the floor in my living room because I wanted to have some natural light, and the light in my bathroom is so bad. You can't do your makeup with bad lighting, right? All right, so I always like to start with my favorite skin tint, which is from YSL. And I use shade 4, which I'm not fully convinced is the best shade for me. So I've been trying to figure out like what my best shade is, but because I do self-tan, it's really difficult to sort of figure that out. And I just use like a little bit, and I just put it directly on the skin. And then I'll come in with my Dior Backstage concealer, and I'll just put this like here in the corner of my eyes, the tip of my nose, anywhere I kind of want a little bit of a lift and a little bit of more of a highlight. And then I take my Beauty Blender sponge and just blend it, and then I do wet the sponge a little bit just to really spread it out. I'm so curious as to how this is going to go without an actual mirror. And I won't blend under my eyes until the end. Okay, I'm gonna go under the eye. So it's light enough that it really does cover, like if you have a little bit of hyperpigmentation or you have some like acne spots, but it is a light coverage. So don't go in thinking it's going to be like a full coverage situation, because it's not. Again, we're just going for something lighter. So if you do have something you need to cover, then I would go in with your concealer to do that. Okay, my next step is to contour. And I use this one from Westman Atelier, and this is the color Biscuit, which is for more fair skin, because my skin kind of goes between fair and light. Essentially, it's never really tan. So just go in here on the cheeks, on the side of my nose, around the lips, on the jawline. And then I'll give myself a little bit of a lift here, just around the forehead. And honestly, I don't know that it makes that big of a difference, but I do it. Certain places I definitely am like, oh yeah, you can really see that it's contoured. Other things I'm not so sure about. Definitely do my jawline because I'm starting to get those like jowl situation from hitting my 40s. I keep telling Chris I'm gonna be getting my facelift in a couple years. I think I'm crazy. But ladies, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from with that. I just want to age gracefully. That's my thing. I don't want to look 20. I just want to look my age, but like really good for my age. That's the goal. Right? Nothing crazy. The sun is starting to move. I did not plan this out very well. Okay, we've shifted. So just finishing up blending, using the same beauty blender because I use this for literally every part of my makeup routine. Some people like to use their fingers. I find that when I use my fingers, it just doesn't blend. I think it just looks streaky and a little crazy. Can't have that. Okay. I think that's blended enough. All right, the next thing I do is my eyebrows. I have really ridiculously thin eyebrows, unfortunately. They just never grew back from the 90s when I was over plucking them when I was in high school. So this is what we have to work with. I did have them microbladed a couple years ago, but it just doesn't last. So I use the Anastasia. As you can see, it is very well loved powder, and I did find myself a mirror, so I'm going to use it and just go in with the powder. Kind of try to fill it in and make it look a little bit thicker. I do like a natural brow. God, I wish I had those big fluffy brows that you could just like throw some gel in and go. That is not my brow story. That's the end. And I think it's really important that your eyebrows, they're not twins. Like, let's face it, they are not going to be identical. You just want them to look related, like cousins at least. See, I've got like a big hole in this one. So I'm going to go in with like the darker shade mixed with the lighter shade and see if I can fill that hole. Do they look related? The sun is testing me this morning. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is a little bit of blush, and I use this one again from Westman Atelier. And I just use this stick here, and I'm going to put it on my cheeks. And this is the color Petal, just a really pretty rose color. And I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, and I'm going to blend it upwards onto my temple. Just get it nice and even, and then bring it down across my cheeks to give you a little bit of that flush. Anytime you can bring your makeup like up on your face, it's really lifting. So I always try to start from about here and just bring it up. So anything that comes down here or down your face is gonna just drag your whole face down, and that is not the look that we're going for. We want snatched, we want lifted and raised and youthful and easy and glowy. That is the name of the game. So when it comes to my eyeshadow, I am a firm believer that less is more. Unless I have a show on HSN or I'm going out somewhere, I don't really like to use a lot of eyeshadow. So what I'll do is I have this brush that is very well loved that I'll use for various things like concealer and that kind of stuff. And I just kind of rub it across my lids just to kind of matte it out a bit. And then I go in with this really old Renaissance Anastasia palette that, again, you can see it's just very well loved. And I'll use the shade Warm Taupe here, which is mostly gone. And just do a little bit of, like I'm gonna do this without, and just come in and do a little bit of a contour, just to give my eye a little bit of definition. So again, we don't want to look like, this is like definitely a more natural makeup look. We don't want a lot. So just a little bit of definition. And then I'll use the brush that came with it. It's got this kind of shape to it. And I will come in on the lower lash line and just kind of smudge it a little bit. Again, just to give it a bit of definition. Still fighting the sun. This is not a good plan. All right, so the next thing I do is I contour again. So I have a palette from MAC that I use, and I just kind of go in here in the cheeks, on the cheek line again, just to give it a little bit extra, sort of that 90s model cheekbone vibe. And the bridge of my nose. And I like the little button look, so I do like across the bridge here. I'm just kind of around. And then under my lip to give it a little bit of extra fullness. All right, so I'm playing a game with the sun at this point. All right, so the next thing I want to do is powder, and I use a loose from Chanel, and this is the Natural Finish in 30. It's my favorite powder, and I've been using it forever. So just take my brush, this lovely one from MAC, and I come in underneath the eye, and then just bring it down and across. I'm gonna blend my contour a little bit, up on the forehead, set the powder in my brows, and it just gives a lovely finish without looking like over powdery. That's something that really drives me nuts, is when powder, the grains are like bigger and they just sit on top of your face, and this, it just feels light as air and it lasts. So I'm not like running to the bathroom to retouch all throughout the day. It just gives it a nice natural finish, which is really what we're going for. We don't want to look overly made up. We don't want to look like we're wearing, you know, layers and layers of makeup. Okay, next up is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Oops. That I got recently and I'm obsessed with. And I just take a little bit and come in on my cheeks like this. Because I just want a little bit of that look. I don't want it to overpower, and I don't want it to end up looking orange. Go in like a contour, bring it down the neck, and then I'll bring a little bit across the cheek and just blend it to give a little bit of that sun-kissed look. The last thing that I do is my lashes. So I always come in with my curler. Just a little bit. And I use the Benefit Bag Gal Bang, and this is actually kind of old. So it's not giving the definition that it used to. So I need to make a Sephora run. Try to fan the lashes out. You see, it's very natural, but it really does lengthen. And I had extensions in my lashes for, I think it was 5 or 6 years straight. I was never without lash extensions. And I made the decision to just go try to be, you know, more natural and honestly save some money, because spending $100 some odd every month on lashes is it's a little extra and not necessary. So I just felt like I needed to have something like that to make me feel better about myself, and that's dumb. It's dumb. I think it's important to always celebrate who you are, what you have, and be really grateful and really proud of your features, and do what you can to celebrate them and accentuate those things, instead of we're always taught to sort of like hide and cover everything. And you can't live like that. Like, we're not meant to be here to do that. We're really meant here to just enjoy our lives, enjoy ourselves, enjoy our vessels while we're here. And we spend so much time stressing about those things and trying to recreate or change. And why? It's exhausting. Like, we're all individual for a reason. And I think it's so important that we just take a look at who we are. Obviously, we all have things that we want to improve, but changing completely to me is why. And we're back. Took a break so I could go blow dry my hair so you get a better idea of the overall look. The last thing I'm going to do is my lips. So I'm going to go in with Lip Cheat from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is Pillow Talk. So this is like the universal pink shade. I'm going to get out my trusty mirror. And I do overline a little bit because my lips are not symmetrical. I have one side of my lip dips in, the other side kind of comes out, so I like to try to even them out a little bit. And then the lipstick that I've been wearing lately, I kind of go back and forth. I've been wearing a lot of MAC, what is it called? Honey something, which is more of that like nude brown. But I bought this Dior in Atelier, which is a little bit more pinky, and I love it. And it's not something that I would normally wear, but I've been trying to change things up a little bit. And it's so much more hydrating than the MAC matte lipsticks, which are so dry, and I feel like it just makes my lips look like old. And this like hydrates, plumps a little bit, has a little bit of shine to it. So this is my go-to everyday look. I hope that you enjoyed my video. I know it was a lot with the sun, but hopefully I'll be doing some more. And thank you for watching and supporting. And if you like this video and you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be amazing. And I will hopefully see you soon.